Okay, so the valve housing assembly, it's made of brass tubing and some thin brass stock. 6 pieces in total. I think we'll start with making the flanges. Pretty simple operation. 3 holes, trim it and round off each end. And we'll be doing that over in the mill, and then followed up with some hand filing. So let's get started. Just have a piece of 1/4 inch by 1/16 of an inch thick brass, and I already drilled the holes for the first flange, and I'll just show you what I did. Pretty simple. Start with a center drill, call that 0, go over 203 thousandths in the left, and then 203 thousandths in the right, and we'll follow up with a number 20 drill bit for the center and number 44 for each of the smaller holes for the studs. Pretty straightforward. Let's get to it. Alright, so there we have it. Got the holes drilled. So now we'll get those ends radiused and move on and get the piece for the valve body to fit in there. So I'll bring you back in a little bit. Okay, so we'll round this end over with these with a filing button that I made, and okay, so that's one, and I'll do the other one off camera. Okay, so got both of those pieces done, and what I did, I don't know if you guys can see, I cut a little shoulder on that, and so this kind of just helps it along here, fits in, and we'll solder that as well. I figured I'll give it some more surface area for the solder to stick, give it a little bit more strength. So I'm going to head, I'll get this soldered, and we'll move on to the next step in making this valve piping. Okay, that's all we need. So we'll get this snugged in, and I think I was mentioning that I think by doing this it accomplishes 2 things. It keeps this centered in there so it's not going to kick out, and that'll give us when I do the other one, that'll give us the same distance from the flange over. And it'll also prevent this from rotating. So when this gets mounted on the cylinder head, that fish mouth will be in the right orientation, so they'll both be straight. So that's the plan. Let's see how this works. Let's get this thing fired up, and just gonna take my time. We'll do a nice easy cut. Sounds like it's just starting to cut now. Okay, I think we're through. Pull that out. Let's see. Trying to get the little cutoff out. Get that out of the way. It is loose. Needs a little help. So there's the cutoff. So let's see what the other piece looks like. It's got a little bit of a burr on one end, but I think it looks all right. Okay. All right, the moment of truth. That pliers. Okay, let's see what it looks like here. So it looks like one end is a little bit higher, but I think that's just the bar on there. So let's get it cleaned up a little bit. There's a little bit of a bar there, and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so the results came out pretty decent. Let me see if I can get this in the camera for you. I mean, you can see one side is a little bit higher. Is that really going to make a difference? I really don't know, but it's pretty close. And I think more importantly, though, is let's see if the camera can pick this up. I gotta get this all bolted down there, but you can see it fits pretty nice in there. So that's what I was hoping for. I didn't want one to get twisted, and definitely wanted to get it. They would be the same height. And how clear this comes out here, I'm not entirely sure, but zoom out a little bit. The camera's really not straight, but, so this looks pretty parallel to the cylinder. And that was one of the important considerations as well. So I got to get this tube cut down to length, and I'll get some nuts to hold this down. I still want to trim these studs down to all the equal lengths as well. We could do that later on. And we'll get this fast now with some nuts, get it fluxed up and solder that tube on, and then I'll come back and I'll drill the holes afterwards. Alright, so I got everything all tightened down. I got the a valve pipe here cut to length, and I just used a piece of baling wire, keep everything all together until it's soldered. And we'll try to find a nice angle here where we can get everything in here. Let's see, how do we look? Okay. And so we got to put a little solder on this spot here and this spot here. So, all right, find your sweet spot now. All right. So let's get a little flux on here to start with. Okay, so we got gonna solder that little valve or the inlet port into the valve, and that's just the cut off on the other side with the fish mouth on there. And I got this kind of set up in this Rumpelstiltskin holding setup. I put a piece of wire underneath the clamp here because the holes are not drilled, so when you're ever trying to solder with like a dead end, the pressure builds up and blows the solder back out. So that'll give it some room for the gas to escape. So let's get this soldered. I already put some flux on everything, and find the solder here, get this heated up. I'm hoping the clamp is not acting as a heat sink on this. It seems like it's taking a long time to heat up. There we go. It's pulling in now. Can't get under here. Okay, I think that should be good. Alright, so next step, we got to drill some holes into this main body of the valve assembly, and so we got that little stub sticking out. So I just got a scrap of wood, and we'll just use that to hold that away. So get that set up in here, and we don't have to get too carried away with that. And get that clamped in. And I got a long center drill here. I figured that'll minimize any kind of flexing going on. That'll hold it nice and straight down in there. And we're just eyeballing that in. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this should be good. And thinking I'll just run a 3/32 drill bit down in there, and that'll open it up to the diameter of the hole that's in the cylinder head.